What up, Kalish crew, and welcome to Kalish Eat and Greet. So today we are doing probably a couple of recipes actually, but the main one I want to show you guys is how to make cornbread. It's actually, this one is honey butter cornbread. I've done like a lot of research online, YouTube and stuff, looking up different recipes, and I think I finally come up with a good combination. Because, you know, I was trying to like look visually at the videos to see, is it moist? You know, because a lot of people will be like, oh, this is the most moist cornbread, but they're not all moist. They can't be. Cornbread can be really dry. It can be really bland in my experience. So I wanted to see if I could, you know, combat that. But also, yeah, like back when I was in Maryland, it was like a few years back, I had the best cornbread I've ever had in my entire life. And I've always wanted to try to recreate that. However, I didn't get the recipe from it. It was like some restaurant. Never got the recipe. So from my research, I think I've come up with a way to possibly recreate that recipe or just make a really good honey butter cornbread recipe that's not bland, that's not dry, and that tastes amazing. So I am in my room today, actually. My brother's sleeping out in the living room, so I didn't want to be out in the kitchen doing stuff. So I just grabbed everything I needed on a tray, brought it into my room, so we have everything we need, as far as I know. I might have to get up and run and get something, but I got my measuring cups, I got my can opener, I got everything. And I have a mixing bowl. So this recipe can be doubled. I'm actually doing half of the recipe, like my recipe that I came up with, because I don't want to make too much, because it's just me and Bud. So definitely double this recipe if you're trying to make for like more than 2 people. This recipe will be like, it'll probably be like an 8x8 baking dish instead of like a 9x13, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, I got some yellow cornmeal. I guess you want the yellow stuff. And I've never worked with cornmeal before, but yeah, just probably got way too much. I'm not gonna ever use this, but I think you can also use cornmeal like on the bottom of the pan if you're making like a pizza or something to prevent sticking. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, yeah, I could use it for something like that. I've been making a lot of breads lately. Ooh. Very fine. Has 0 smell. All right, so what do we need? A cup of this? I got a 1/4 cup measure here, which I don't know whatever happened to my 1/2 cup measure, or my whole cup measure for that matter. So we're gonna do 4 of these 1/4 cups to make it a cup. So beautiful. Now let's do 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So equal parts, both of these. All right, I'm gonna throw in a 1/2 cup of sugar, just granulated sugar. And 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and of course I did forget something, a whisk, or something to stir this with. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this does it for the dry ingredients, so I'm just gonna whisk those all up. Good enough. Now I'm gonna add 1 cup of whole milk, 1/2 stick of melted butter, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, which, you know, a little expensive for this. You probably want to use like vegetable oil or something. Now I have a can of cream style corn. I gotta open it up though. I've also never worked with this. I've never even seen creamed corn before in my life. But it looked really good when people were adding it to their recipes. I'm like, that probably adds some texture and flavor, you know? I'm pretty sure that's it. So let's break this yolk. Pretty sure we're just gonna mix it up from here. So your mixture is probably going to be lumpy because of that cream style corn. So don't worry too much about that. But this should be kind of the texture you're going for. Pancake battery, I'd say. Maybe a little thicker. Yeah. So I'm going to go preheat my oven to 350 degrees. You probably should have already done that. I should have probably already done that. If you're in a hurry, before you do any of this, just preheat your oven. 350. And we'll probably bake this for like 35 to 45 minutes, depending. It's a smaller dish, so maybe even like 30 minutes. We'll see. All right, I'm in the kitchen, but I gotta be quiet, so let's do this. All right, we preheated, so let's do it. So you may have noticed that there was no honey in that mixture that we just made, and I earlier referred to this as honey butter cornbread. So the honey comes last, I promise. Actually, I'm gonna go make that because there's only a little bit of time left in the oven, and we wanna make sure we have our honey butter. Just wait, just wait. We wanna make sure we have it ready. I'll show you what we're gonna do. So we're gonna need another half stick of butter, or a little more, you know. Doop. I'm gonna go ahead and melt this. Don't judge me, I've never cleaned this. I should do that. Now I just want to add a little bit of honey to this. Probably about like 1/4 of a cup. At least a couple tablespoons. That should do it. Just give that a little mix. Hell yeah. This is supposed to go on the top of our cornbread once it's baked, and then you let it cool down. I'll show you guys. Let's just wait. We got like 5 more minutes. All right, it's been like 45 minutes in the oven, so I'm gonna pull this out, check it with a knife to see if the knife comes out dry. If so, it's done. If not, it needs another 5-10 minutes. Ooh, I can already tell that is not done. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see, but the center is very jiggly, so I'm not even gonna bother putting a knife in there. I'm just gonna give this like 10 more minutes. So the cornbread is finally done. In my oven, it took a little bit over an hour. For yours, I'm assuming it'll take like 45 minutes, just because my oven, everything takes a lot longer in my oven. So it's finally done. Now I'm gonna show you, some of you probably knew where this was going, but now I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the honey butter that I made just a little bit earlier. Actually, really quick, I wanted to add a little bit of nutmeg to this because I forgot to add nutmeg to the actual recipe, which I was gonna try to do, but let's just add like 1/2 teaspoon into this honey butter mixture. Stir that around. I reheated this because it had been sitting here and it almost solidified back up, but yeah. That looks so good. Pour this all over our cornbread. Like immediately after it comes out of the oven. All right, now we're gonna cover it. You guys, I dropped this into the honey butter, the camera, so I'm gonna have to deal with this, but just so you know, cover it up in foil, let it cool. This is literally like an hour and a half later. Look how good that looks, nice and moist. Let's cut into it and try it. Here's the cornbread, guys. It looks really, really good. It's a big piece right here, but let's just take a bite. You guys, I've been sitting here talking to you after trying this, and my camera was not recording. This is actually the 3rd time that's happened, but every other time it's been like, whatever. Like, I didn't have to say it because I could just redo the thing, like redo the shot. But look, how much of this I've eaten. Like, I've taken clear bites out of this. I've tried the product. I can't really like lie to you and be like, oh, this is the first time I've tried this. Yeah, so I've been talking and the camera wasn't recording. So first of all, let's take a bite with you on here. You know, I have tried it, but let's take a bite. It's kind of like big. It's really good. Really, really, really good. Not dry at all. It's so moist. It's like denser than I thought it was going to be. It's not like, it's cake-like, but it's not like really light cake. It's kind of like a, like heavier sort of cake. You know what? I don't know if that makes sense, but I can actually see it right now, but in the texture, I can tell that there are little chunks of corn in there from the creamed corn. And I really like that. There's actual like pieces of corn. Not too sweet. I think I would have added maybe a little more nutmeg. I wish I would have added some nutmeg, maybe even some cinnamon into the initial like mixture, like the actual recipe, instead of just putting the nutmeg in the honey butter. That was kind of like I had thought of it like, oh, I got to add nutmeg to this recipe. But when I was writing down the recipe, I didn't write it down, so of course I forgot it. So that's okay though. I was showing you in the video before, but the edges got like a little bit crispy. I've eaten like all the edges on this, but they got like golden brown. Nah, I was gonna show you, but I've like ate all the edges because I was doing that in the video before. But yeah, this is really, really good. I would say, honestly, an 8 out of 10. I think if I had to change some stuff, I would definitely add some more nutmeg, add it to the mixture. I might add some cinnamon to it too. I don't know why. I feel like it needs that like spice because it's like a little bit sweet and you got the corn flavor, but like you want a little bit of like spicedness to like balance all that. I don't know why. I'm craving some sort of like cinnamon or something. Maybe it's the honey. I don't know. Oh yeah, but the honey butter on top. And it's still a little bit warm, even though it's been like an hour and a half. Because we covered it with foil and we let it cool down without like drying out. So it just kind of kept steaming in there, I guess. It's not overcooked or anything. It's like perfect. Yeah, this, like I said, 8 out of 10. I don't know exactly what I would change or what's like not perfect about it. I think I just want like a little more flavor, like a little more of that spice. Maybe even just adding a little more salt to the initial mixture. So yeah, I think next time I make this, I'm gonna add like a pinch more salt. I'm gonna add like a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of nutmeg into the mix, and that's it. Might even bake it a little longer just so it gets a little more crispy on the edges. I really like that. But yeah, 8 out of 10, maybe like 8.5 out of 10. But right now, I'm starving. I'm so hungry. We just went out and picked out a Christmas tree, so worked up a little appetite. I want to make a pulled pork sandwich so I can eat the rest of this with that. So yeah, without further ado, let's go back to the kitchen and make dinner. Alright guys, I don't think I showed you me making this, but yeah, I just toasted the bread. Oh my god. The pork is falling out of it. Do you see my cat? Climbing up me like a mountain. Here, let me try to show you like this because it's very, very messy. Yeah, just pork on a bun. Hi kitty, here, do you want a piece? He gets to try it before me. Over here. Let's see if we get him on camera. Do you like it? No? Okay. Let's try it. It's gonna be very sloppy. Hot. So fucking good. I should have done like hot dog buns or something. Like it wouldn't like, I don't know, something that like closes, you know what I mean? On one side. Or I should have just gotten a fork. Oh, it's delicious though. Mmm. My cat is, kitty. You see this man? He's getting stuck on my pants. Here you go. There's that. His nails get stuck on things very easily, so we have to help him. Alright, let's try to... The integrity of this bun is failing. You guys see this? There we go. Is it gonna focus? It focused. There we go. Alright. Let's do it. Mm. That's actually really, really good. Alright, cornbread. So my pork is very, very like savory. I don't put barbecue sauce on it, so it's not like sweet at all. So the cornbread being sweet is actually really cool, like back and forth. Mm. It's a great meal. I'm gonna chow down. Let me know if you guys try this recipe, especially with the edits I told you. And otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.